We don't know Harlem yet. We don't know yet. We don't know yet. They're still choosing. Belgium. No. Is it Belgium? Oh my god, it's Belgium. Oh my god.
Hey guys,
Look at
welcome
the
back
weather.
to another video on the channel, and we
Okay.
are back with League Racing.
to
Yes,
hide away.
this is the first league race of F125
be honest.
Ironman League. It's a 100% race, and the weather is always
Can I put
custom,
Inter?
predetermined beforehand. And it looks like we have a wet to dry to
We're gonna
wet
put
to
Inter, let's
dry
go.
race.
I almost
So
started on wet.
this is going to be very, very crazy, especially because it's my first time ever doing a 100% race, and we just barely remembered to start on the inters, even though it's pretty heavy rain and the wets might be faster at this point. Thankfully, I remembered to start on the inters, knowing that they're going to become the better tire soon enough. As we go down the inside into turn 1, and we are up to P12. So there is no qualifying in this championship. It's a bit different to the normal league race that you guys see
there's one
normally,
warning,
like
guys.
PSGL and WR. This
Oh my
Ironman League
God.
is a 100% race with the weather always having wet at some point during the race. And the grid is determined by the championship order, but reversed. So it always creates chaos and really, really fun races. I'm glad to have taken part in this round 1. At the moment, I am a reserve, so I'm not sure if I will be able to do every single race. But whenever I can and there's a spot available, I will definitely be jumping in.
This is my first
so yeah,
lap in
let's
Spa.
focus now onto the race. We're P12, and we basically no one knew that it was going to be Spa. Yeah, that's another thing about this league. The track is randomized each time, so you cannot practice for it. You just have to show up to the lobby, and you find out what track it's going to be. That is why at the beginning I was surprised with Spa, because I completely forgot Spa was even existing, and yeah, just caught me a little bit off guard. I was expecting maybe something else, like
Duncan is on the
Silverstone or
wets.
something, but I believe they do spin the wheel or something like that on their own stream, and they
it's so
choose
much quicker.
like that. It's totally random. There is no bias involved in anything, so yeah, it's a lot of fun, and definitely something that should have been done before or earlier. But yeah, we are now up to P11, and we see Duncan right behind us on the wet tire. And yeah, excuse me
Sorry
for
guys,
that.
I had to do that to stop the car.
Yeah, excuse me for that for that wheel flicking. I know I'm gonna get hate in the comments. I had to do it to stop the car.
No point
I
fighting
knew I was gonna be too deep, and I just didn't want to crash into the car ahead, so that's why I did it. But anyway, yeah, back to the Duncan. We're just gonna let him go. He's on the wets. He'll be quite a bit quicker than us for the first few laps at least.
This is
But
a
I know
long-ass race, man.
we're gonna get back at him at some point. So
Whoa.
yeah, we got a little bit
Whoa.
wobbly up Eau Rouge. I'm not too sure. I was struggling quite a lot up Eau Rouge in that race for some reason, or at least in the wet stints. But maybe the setup wasn't really good, because obviously everyone don't really have a setup either. I just took the Tamtro setup and made a few tweaks to be a little bit easier to drive in the wet. But here we go wide, and we make a mistake, and Otis gets past us.
Locked up.
I went on the dirtier side where there was no more grip, and the car was just understeering even more than it already
Setup is
does.
not ideal.
And yeah, I was struggling. I was really struggling at the beginning of the race. I remember I felt so uncomfortable, and I was just, it just sucks to see when you're driving slowly and you can see losing time
Why
to the
am
cars
I so
ahead.
shit up the hill there?
Yeah,
like,
as I
what?
make another mistake up Eau
My
Rouge,
car doesn't turn.
and that gives Jarno the opportunity to, well, use my slipstream and come alongside me. And we're not even gonna fight this, because I don't want to waste all my battery and lose time ahead.
Why
So
is the car so bad up there?
yeah, we're just gonna take our L at this moment. Lost those 2 positions, but hopefully we can
What is that?
just focus on
Exit
ourselves
getting
now.
Crazy.
And we now focus on Liam Stevens, who's for some reason dropping quite a few places. I'm not sure if he has damage or something happened to him, but he doesn't really defend much here as we go down the inside of the last corner. Easy overtake. Yeah, he actually pits, so surely he must have gotten damage at some point during that lap. So yeah, free position for us back to P13, and we are now on to lap 5, and it's starting to dry a bit. It's still raining, but Duncan, as you can see, is now falling back. I'm sure his tires are not the best anymore. They may be a bit too hot, and he has no more grip on those wets, and this is when we're going to gain our position back once again. We're getting very bunched up here, actually, slowing us down quite a lot, so the earlier we get this move done, the better our chances of doing good. Look at the minimap. There is starting to be some gaps in the train. It seems to be a bit of a case like this in Ironman League, where the train is not fully intact, and there's a lot of people breaking away, and trains getting held up. So,
okay, I feel much better now.
Yeah, as lap 5 is when I start feeling a bit better with the setup, but it's just because of the rain going away. Yeah, I wasn't still driving really good. As Gabor Chontos, apologies if I say that wrong, also started on the wets, and that is another free position. I believe there's one more driver in front of us. I think it's Julian Klaffenbach, who also started on the wets, and we will get another position for free. We're now on to lap 7. P9, so we are in the points. As we have another moment up for Rouge. Yeah, I really couldn't get it down. I'm not too sure why. I guess I was too scared to put it full throttle. As we have another wet runner, actually, from Larry something. Sorry, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that name because I know I'm just going to get it wrong. But yeah, we're only on lap 7 out of 44, so this race felt extremely long. And it is drying now. I expected the rain to last a little bit longer.
I'm overheating.
But thankfully, it didn't, because I went pretty low wings compared to my opponents, it seems like.
I guess I put hards, no?
And we're gonna go around the outside of Julian here. Oh. Easy, there you go. There's no contact there. We both leave each other space. And I think we're gonna pit soon. The tires are starting to overheat. And yeah, we are thinking about going on to the hards.
DRS enabled. Is it time to pit?
Because we don't really know when it's going to rain again.
Teammate in front of me, no?
And yeah, we have our teammate in front,
I think I've got
so
my teammate in front of me.
We cannot pit this lap because my teammate's ahead of us, which means I would just get double stacked and held up a lot. And then fall back down. You see the train behind me? I don't want to fall behind that full train. But I think that's going to be the case anyway, because we have to go an extra lap.
Big enough gap. No, there's not a big enough gap.
Yeah, we lost around 3 seconds or more in that lap. The gap to Brendan coming out of the pits, he was about 9 seconds or so, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less. And it's now just about 6.5. So yeah, we're losing so much time to doing this. And I'm not even sure if it was worth it now looking back at it, but the double stack is just as bad. And at least like this, I have 1 lap pressure tires. 1 lap can never hurt. Obviously, 1 lap in a 100% race is not as much as a 1 lap in a 50% race, because the tire wear is doubled on a 50% race.
Man, they passed me already. Jesus.
We're now coming out of the pits. It's still a little bit damp, and thankfully, we come out with some DRS, and we don't get eaten alive. But the bad news is, look at the gaps ahead. We need to pass these two and then catch whoever in the McLaren is. I think that is Benz. So I was with Benz, by the way. I actually was right behind him, or just in front of him, when the pit stops happened. And yeah, that means we lost contact with the top 5, top 6-ish. And we're now down in P10.
Man,
so it's not looking too good.
The ERS so much.
As I'm trying to do some working together with Tamash, but he was using a little bit of ERS on the straight and kind of making it hard to overtake, which I didn't understand at the time. But maybe he just had a bit lower wings than I, and he was just that much quicker on the straight, which very well possible. And we're now caught up to the back of the little train that was ahead. But I think this little train lost quite a bit of time to the top 5. As you can see on the minimap, they are so far ahead. As we get past Daniel here, no problems. I think it was the correct choice to go on the hard tire, because everyone who put the mediums seems to be struggling. Maybe that's the common theme of this game. The hard tire is a bit better than the medium, perhaps. We are not still super familiar with the tires on this game, hence this being the first league race and we're learning. But yeah, we're gonna get past Julian without a problem. Actually, he kind of lets us go. He was even struggling to keep up with Benz, as far as I remember. So yeah, got rid of them, and we're now at the front of the train with Benz, and hopefully we can work together because he's also on the hard tires, and my teammate in P5 is on the mediums. So maybe we can catch, but he is holding on to the top 5.
ERS constantly and push. That's the only way.
Yeah, as I say here,
Literally
the only thing to do is to just push as hard as much as we can with all of my ERS. I don't plan to save my ERS to fight for this P1 spot of the train because it's just pointless. There's still half the race to go, basically.
Do I pit at the same time as them and get held up? Or do I pit a lap later? Or I pit a lap earlier? Because if I pit a lap earlier, I'm going to destroy my tires. If I pit a lap later, I'm going to lose so much time. But if I pit in the same lap, well, at least I have better tires. But if I pit in the same lap, I will lose time, but I will not... Oh my god, this is...
Yeah, it's a bit confusing what I was just talking there. It's starting to rain soon, and I was trying to decide when to pit, but it was clearly I had to pit the same lap as my teammate. Thankfully, the gap was a bit bigger than it was in the first stint, so maybe...
What do you mean barely held? Look how
I'm
much
not,
I'm gonna get held
I'm
up.
not gonna get held out too much, but I still think it's gonna be a bit. Thankfully, I managed to create a bit of a gap to the cars behind me, actually, and that hopefully will...
Oh my god,
keep the position for me. Well, let me be able to keep the position, and we do get held up a little
It
bit,
wasn't too bad.
but we have a good stop.
Come on, I
So
kept the position.
yeah, we even kept the position to Andre, but the gap that I created obviously cost me a lot of ERS before pitting, and you can see I have no ERS, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to
my
keep this position.
I kept the position, but I have no ERS. I have no ERS.
Yeah, there's not much I can do here unless he doesn't use. He will get past me for sure. I'm on 0, absolutely no battery left. But yeah, Jack Quest.
How early you wanna break?
Yeah, you braked a little bit early there, but
What was that?
he caught me off guard a tiny bit. But all good there. We got no damage. But yeah, I was gonna say Jack Quest is only 3.5 seconds ahead, which means we've caught up quite a bit to him, and he lost the train in front. Maybe we can catch him and maybe get a P5 in the race, as we're now trying to swap with Andre and help each other out, but it doesn't seem like he's down for that. It doesn't seem like he wants to do any swapping, and he is defending the position, which is not good news for me. What's good news for me, though, it's Diego has a 10-second penalty. He must have sped in the pits, I believe, so that will be another free position.
Lovely. How am I still skating? What the fuck is that curb? Man, what?
Hello?
What the fuck is that curb?
Yeah, I wasn't too happy with that exit there. Obviously my mistake, and I was just annoyed at myself for making that small mistake, which I didn't think it would cost me
Man,
much.
how early you wanna break? Andre, you can break later, my guy.
Yeah, I wasn't having the best time these few laps. I was annoyed that he wasn't really working with
Turn
me.
your car.
Man, it doesn't turn. No, it doesn't. Like 0.
But yeah, and everyone's entitled to do whatever they want, and he did absolutely nothing wrong there. So
Stop raining,
no
right?
hate towards Andre or anything.
it's
It
not
was
raining.
just heat in the moment and racing. But we will get past him once again, and hopefully this time not make a
Oh, you're a
mistake.
smart one. Oh,
Hopefully not make a
You're a
mistake
smart
and let him pass again.
oh my god, man. Why are you fighting?
And we can
You're
finally
getting
focus
caught
on
from
Jack.
Behind. Just swap. Just do the swapping.
Welcome to League Racing.
Oh my god, crazy. Crazy.
On to lap 35, and it's starting to dry up.
Yeah, I know next lap will,
It
but
really
my teammate
took-
is in front.
Yeah, it really took only one lap for the
My
track to
teammate's
start
ahead of me,
drying.
Will.
And I don't want to pit again behind my teammate. He's only 3 seconds ahead of me. That is not a big gap. I need to
wanna
avoid
try.
that. And I'm just gonna YOLO it and pit a lap earlier than everyone. Who knows if this is gonna
Teammate's in
work?
front of me. My teammate will pit
It is
this
a
lap.
risk, but it's a risk worth taking, because if I pit next lap, my teammate
exactly.
not only is in front of me and I was gonna double stack, he has a 10-second penalty that he has
Go
to
for
serve in the pits. Which then, yeah, okay, I'm losing 15 odd seconds in the pits, so that would be my race over. So this was absolutely the correct decision.
Oh, big time.
But yeah, the problem is, how is the outlap gonna be? And there's absolutely no grip here on the exit.
Well,
So, GG.
And I wasn't too impressed. Neither was Fabrizio in the voice chat.
No, I don't think so, actually. It's actually good. No, it's good.
But
it's good.
then,
It's in the pit exit.
as I go up Eau Rouge,
Yeah,
I
it's
felt,
fine, it's
wait
fine,
a
it's fine.
second.
I think it was good.
There's actually like
I
some
know
grip.
reason Spa always dry up so quick.
What will tell us is this chicane right here, the Lecombe chicane. How is it gonna handle? And it
Yes.
looks,
Also, you absolutely cooked.
it looks like the right decision, guys. This was the lap to pit. There is more grip than in the Inters,
Why am I ghosting?
and this is our chance to make up the time that we've lost throughout the race, and maybe just get ourselves in a maybe podium fight. I mean, nothing's written yet, and there's still 8 laps to go, and I have a crazy in lap now.
Why
Oh, sorry,
why
out
is my
lap.
car ghosting?
Wasn't too sure why the car was
Like,
ghosting there
yeah.
though.
Is it dynamic?
No, they did it on purpose. It was wet,
Oh.
dry, wet, dry.
Okay, that's why then.
How far ahead will they be? Or will I have overtaken them
not
in this
fully
outlap? Let's find out very soon.
Well, you gapped Julian behind
I
you.
gapped
full
Julian a second behind me, which meant that was a good reference to me that I had a really good outlap. And the DRS is enabled, so we had a really good timing. And that is Jack West right there. So we've caught a few seconds, and we've gapped the people
How I
behind.
didn't catch.
I expected to catch a little bit more, but I
How's
guess
that gap?
maybe I was being too greedy. And
Please come here.
there's another
Before.
problem that's come to light,
I need that DRS, man, now.
and that is the fuel. I have absolutely no fuel. I'm in the red. I have been in the red for quite some time now, and I need Jack's DRS as soon as possible to start saving
You still
fuel,
need to do the gear trick.
or I'm not
No.
not gonna reach the end of the race. And that wouldn't be a nice debut for me in Ironman League if I didn't make it to the end because I didn't have enough
Guys,
fuel.
my fight here is with Jack, to be honest, for P4.
Yeah, I
So-
don't see myself catching Brendan anymore, especially because of my fuel situation. I'm purely focused on making it to the end of the race and maybe still scamming my way through and getting a P4. As you can see here, Jack is trying to lift as well. He does not want to lead. And I've come to know after the race that Jack has the same problem. He has no fuel. So, unfortunately for him, he was the car ahead at this in this scenario, and I'm the one that kind of decides how much to push because I'm the car behind, of course. So, yeah, I think it was just unfortunate. He was caught off guard.
Oh, he's done retired.
Yeah, we finally saved enough fuel after 5 laps behind them. We've saved enough fuel to finally lead and finish the race. But I still don't want to lead because I know the DRS is so strong.
Okay.
But I don't want to play DRS games. I don't want to start my league racing year in F1 25 with DRS games fighting for P4. And I thought to myself, I feel pretty comfortable on this medium tire. Maybe if I push hard enough, I can gap them and they can't pass me on the last lap, which is exactly what happened.
Oh my god, he barely has it.
He barely has the DRS,
I think.
but he is over a second behind, which means I drove it to perfection. I've made all the best decisions throughout the race. Honestly, I only made 2 or 3 driving mistakes, which cost me maybe a little bit of time. But ultimately, I didn't really have the pace on the first stint on the Inters to do what Otis and Jarno did. And they finished P1 and P2. Otis with a massive gap. He had a crazy strategy as well. So congrats to Otis.
You literally need to slide everywhere.
But yeah,
Oh, I'm driver of the day.
I am driver of the day according to the game.
Shit.
That was my first race in Ironman League. I had a lot of fun doing it. It absolutely flew by. But yeah, Otis and Jarno did a bit better than me. Brendan
overtook me
starting
the first
P1,
day.
finishing P3, myself in
On the
P4,
Inters. That was
and my
good.
teammate down in P8. So thank you guys for
Then I
watching
got- I
today's
lost like 4
race.
seconds, Fab,
I'll see you guys in the
Because I
next
couldn't
video,
pitch.
which should be very, very soon.
in the same lap as them because
And
my teammate was
goodbye.
ahead of me. So I had to go an extra lap in the dry with Inters. I lost like 3-4 seconds.